So back a couple years ago when I hurt myself bike riding, I had to figure out a way to keep myself entertained. And one of the things I did was buy a remote control car kit and put together this car, um, thinking that someday that I'll get my grandkids exposed to this kind of thing, and maybe they would find it fun to take it apart, put it back together again, something like that. It comes with a phone app, and it's very clumsy to use. And an adult can deal with it, I think, without too much trouble, and probably a teenager would have no problem with it. But like a 4 or 5 year old, I think would be frustrated with it. So I thought, you know what? I have a joystick left over from my self-balancing robot project, and I bet that I can figure out how to take an Arduino board, which I have right here, and hook it up with a Bluetooth module, which is what this thing is, and get them to work together so that we can use a joystick instead of the phone app to drive the car. And I was able to do that with a little bit of frustration, more because the car came with this little, its own Bluetooth receiver, which is a previous generation from the ones I'm using. It's still Bluetooth 4.0, but I think there's some kind of voodoo going on with it. It just totally ignored everything I did with this thing. So I thought, well, I'll just get another one of these other Bluetooth modules and put that in the car, and it worked without any problem whatsoever. And then I added some code to the car software so that I could take better advantage of the joystick, since you have more than just a right, left, forward, and backward capability. And I can show you. That's basically what you can do with the car with the default phone app, and then there's a left and right capability. And when you push the button on the phone, it just keeps going. You have to remember to press stop in order for the thing to stop rotating. Whereas having this joystick and knowing that if you let go of it, it returns to the center point, and if that happens, I just tell the car, "Hey, stop." And then I added some more directional stuff to make it a little bit easier to drive, and you can have it go forward, but also off to the right or left. Like I call it northeast and southeast, that kind of thing. What was very interesting for me was that I really had two separate projects, three actually. One was to introduce new commands to the car, and I used their phone app to validate all the code and everything. I could drive it around as I would envision myself using the joystick doing, and all that code could be done without the joystick involved in any way. And then on the joystick side, I basically did the same thing. Everything was done independent of the car, and I have, you look at the Arduino development environment, they have a serial monitor, and that's what's running right here. You probably can't see that, but all the commands that the joystick sends to the car play up on the screen, so I could put a lot of debugging information in there. The third aspect of the project was actually getting the car and this Bluetooth device to talk. And there was a little bit of a learning curve with that for me, but I realized this is kind of like a modem, and they have this AT command set with it, and it was just kind of deciphering a document that was obviously written by somebody in China that was not a native English speaker. Once I got through that, there was only 3 or 4 things I needed to do on this Bluetooth module to get it to transmit. They come in default receiver mode, and then there's a couple other things you need to do, but once I got done with all 3 aspects of this, it was only a matter of a couple minutes to put it all together and get the thing to work. So hopefully when Hudson comes and other grandkids someday, that they'll see this thing and think, hey, that's kind of cool, how does it work? And we can really get into it as much as they want. You know, maybe someday they'll look at this kind of stuff and say, yeah, that old Gramps, man, why did he get into this stuff? I don't know, but it was fun. So.